Okay, here we are. I'm gonna do a little during action report of Master of Magic. Give you guys a chance who haven't seen it before, like maybe in a very long time anyway, a chance to see what all the fuss is about. Okay, so first things first, let's start a new game, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep the difficulty at hard. Opponents 4, size large. I'm gonna scale back the magic nodes to weak. That just means that the magic nodes and the land, you can conquer them and then acquire them for your own nefarious purposes. The setting here determines how powerful the neutrals are guarding those nodes and how much you get out of conquering them. With weak, very easily guarded, not super valuable to obtain. So here we go. Alright, first things first, we gotta select a wizard. Alright, I don't think I've ever once in my whole life picked one of these pre-made dudes. And the computer doesn't really either, because the computer, when it picks one of these dudes, will shuffle it up a little bit and give them some different skills and stuff. So I will custom make my own wizard, much like the computer tends to do sometimes. And I will pick, everyone likes Rajak, we'll pick Rajak. Alright, and I'll keep his name, that's fine. Alright, now normally Rajak is all death, all the time. Yeah, that makes him very unpopular at parties, but very good at this game. I think I will take him and put a little bit into death because I like a little bit of death magic, but I'd like to supplement it with some chaos magic as well, maybe. And we will look up here to see all the special skills you can give him, kind of like perks. And you can right-click on them and see what they do. And there's some pretty powerful stuff here. Some of these things take 2 or even 3 picks because they're so good. Some just take 1 because they're useful, but as useful as a second or third book in the spells would be. The more books you've got in your spells, the more spells you're offered, and the higher your chances of getting rare and very rare spells offered to you during the gameplay with which to research and learn and cast. With 3 picks, I think I will go ahead and dump a point into Warlord. I like Warlord. Makes all your units build at a higher. They spit out of your cities at a higher experience level than the recruit, the green-eared recruits, which makes the early game considerably more interesting. And then late game, they actually end up getting a higher rank than is normally attainable. Normally, epic is the big one, and then this goes up to elite, and then this goes to ultra elite. So let's go ahead and pick that. And let's see here. I like Conjurer. It makes your conjured creatures cheaper to cast and maintain per turn. So that's fun. That's good because Cass has got some Hellhounds. We're going to see them in a second. Alright, now because I got a few books in black, I get to pick a couple spells. Ghouls and Life Drain are not too shabby. I'm gonna be offered Hellhounds. I'm gonna take Hellhounds. I think with the red. So I don't need Ghouls right now. Life Drain is useful, but early in the game you don't have a lot of mana to throw around, so you can't put a lot of muscle into that spell. So in my opinion, the early game spells that buff or enchant a creature, um, like for example Cloak of Fear, which makes it harder for enemies to attack the enchanted creature, or Weakness, which drops to attack off of the target. Very useful early in the game. All right, and I got more red, so I can pick more than just a couple. Here I can pick Firebolt and Hellhounds, pretty decent. Eldritch Weapon actually makes your target unit's weapons more powerful, makes them harder to resist, so they can kind of cut through defense a little bit easier. Fire Elemental is really good also. You can throw down that during fight, and they're pretty potent. This looks good. I think I'll just keep these. Alright. Now you gotta pick the races. I can only pick from the Arcanian default races because I didn't pick. There's a special retort called Mirrodin. Let you start in the Mirrodin world where you can play with regenerating trolls or rich and powerful dwarves, flying draconians, all kinds of cool stuff. Let's see here. I kind of like Clackons. They grow slowly. They can build some stuff that's pretty important, like shipyards and temples. But they tend to be less rebellious, and their attack is a little bit higher than other races. I'm going to try them out. This is just the color. I kind of like green, so I'll pick green. Okay, here we are. You can name your starting. You can name in your cities. I never do. I guess Nick Talk sounds great. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So you start the game with a swordsman and a spearman of your species, and the swordsman have an extra plus attack that most races don't enjoy. They actually have 6 units per swordsman figure, which means each of the 6 units has 4 attack, 4 defense, and 1 hit point. They all have large shields also, looks like. Now they're only regular troops because I started the game with them. If I build more troops, my warlord skill will kick in. Alright, let's see here. Spearmen have an extra point of attack because of their being clackons. That's good. Alright. This being a hard, though, I'm gonna have my swordsman patrol my starting city, and I'll use my spearmen to kind of start exploring around. And then the first thing you want to do is go into your starting city and change it off housing. Right now you've got population up there, how much food, and how quickly they can build stuff in the town, how much money they're making for you, and how much mana they're making for you. Population is important. The more people you've got here, the more builders and farmers you can get. But taking off housing right away and building a granary is what I like to do first. Granaries give you more food, and granaries make your cities grow faster in the long run. Okay, let's see some graphical issues here because of the fraps capturing the video. Alright, 8 turns to build a granary. Okay, well that should be fine. We should be okay for 8 turns. Oh yeah, first turn of the game. I get to pick what I start researching first. Cheap stuff in the upper left, really expensive stuff in the lower right. Disenchant area. That's a real good spell, but I don't need it or want to spend 150 turns going for it. Of course, as my cities build, these numbers will go down and auto adjust. It's just that I only get 2 points of research per turn right now, so something that costs 20 takes 10 turns. We'll go with Warpwood because it takes out archers, which is actually pretty awesome for as cheap as it is. Alright, now speaking of magic, I'm only making 3 per turn. And I go to magic here and I got these wands. This is how much mana I make per turn, how much I'm dumping into research, 2, and how much skill I'm getting dumped into. The more skill you've got, the higher your skills, your casting skill becomes over time. It's 16 right now for me, so I can dump 16 mana into a spell per turn. If something costs 30 magic, it's going to take me 2 turns to cast it with 2 mana left over. So I'm going to actually lower my skill down a point and my research down to just 1. So I'm getting a little more magic per turn, and these are going to grow slowly. But I need some early game mana so that I can go ahead and drop a Hellhound, or maybe even one of the other spells I picked. Hellhounds are pretty awesome, so let's go ahead and make one of those. Meanwhile, back at the farm, let's explore the map. Here I got, hey, look at that temple. Let's see who's in the temple. Knock, knock. Ancient temples. Scouts have spotted ghouls. Okay, ghouls are pretty badass, and my spearman, while being impressive, is not that impressive. So he is going to have to move on to a different direction. Here you got swamps and mountains and forests and plains, and they all do different things in the game. Especially where your cities are concerned. Some are better for food production, and ooh, I got my Hellhounds already. That was fast. Hellhounds are pretty awesome. In fact, Hellhounds, 4 units per stack, each one with 3 attack and fire breath 3 and a bonus to hit, and pretty good health too. Hellhounds, I could possibly take these ghouls on with my Hellhounds now. I'm gonna go ahead and kick off another Hellhound, just because this one might die, and better be prepared. All right, here we go. Well, if I move them in now, the Hellhound's the only one's got movement points left, so I'm gonna end my turn now, and next turn both of my guys can go at the same time. Oh, but my greenery got built. Perfect. All right. Should I go for an armory or stables to build some better troops? Library to start getting more research points. A marketplace to start getting more money. I think the smart move might be to go ahead and build another swordsman. Honestly, 8 turns.